4 months in. The first 3 months, I was working all the time and saving up, and I really wasn't doing much of anything. I was reading a little bit, writing here and there, but nothing extravagant. Ooh, that was fun. April 8th, I moved out to LA. I moved to an area called Monterey Park, which is a little bit out of the way. It's a little bit on the outskirts of LA, but close enough for me to drive to my jobs and close enough for me to drive to events if I wanted to last minute. It wasn't gonna be like an hour, it'd be like 30 minutes. I moved in with my friend Jess, and I had someone who was my manager and who was my best friend. If you guys have been following my journey for a while, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. We are friends now, and we're okay now, but at the time, we had a big falling out. And so I moved to LA without a manager nor best friend. My only other close friend lived all the way in San Diego, or does currently, lives in San Diego. And I was still heartbroken from a relationship ending in December. In between, I'd gone on like a few dates, and I'd met a few people and done a few fun things, but for the most part, I wasn't settled into anything really, except trying to just pull myself out of being really sad. And to be honest, for a while there, I was pretty depressed. Like, I mean, if you see my vlogs, of course I was happy in some of them, and I'm an optimistic person, so I can make the best out of any situation. But you also saw videos of me crying and being really freaking sad. So it was like that for, I want to say, maybe like 2 months, until I started really like waking up. My whole point in telling you how I was feeling when I first moved to LA is just to kind of give you like where I was mentally, is just to like tell you what my headspace was. It wasn't in a good place, but I also kept referring to it. If you watch my old videos, you'll see I keep referring to it as a transitional period, which I do agree it was a transitional period. I feel like even though I was really sad, like I knew it wasn't permanent, I knew it was temporary. My personal belief is that everything is temporary, so enjoy everything while it's here. I feel like I'm out of that. I feel very, if you're wondering how I am now, I feel very healthy and happy, and there's still things that I want to grow in and work on, but for the most part, I'm really happy and comfortable with where I'm at and who I am. After that phase, something in my head just kind of clicked, and I was like, I moved to LA to hustle. I did not move to LA to sit on my couch and cry. I moved to LA to like get shit done. And yes, it's okay to feel those things and to go through those emotions, but I was at a point where I was like, okay, I'm done feeling bad for myself. It's time to get up. I started working a ton. I have 2 jobs. Even now I have 2 jobs. And I started asking people I knew, like, hey, can you help me write a song? Like, can you help me produce? Can you maybe just play guitar for me for an hour? Anything I could do to like get out of this little rut I was in and to creatively like get my juices flowing. Because for me, it's once I get the ball rolling, then I'm consistent. But to get that ball rolling, sometimes it can be a little bit hard. I started reaching out to friends, writing all the time. And I started feeling really good about myself. I started working out all the time too. I was working 2 jobs. I was making enough money to eat really healthy and to treat myself well and to occasionally buy myself a little gift here and there. The hardest I've ever worked in my life. It made 2018 the best year of my life. Some of the things I learned in 2018 were how to be alone, how to like truly be alone and like have to take care of myself. I learned exactly who I am with music. I started teaching myself how to use Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, and get better at my graphics. And I also decided that my aesthetic, if you will, my title for it is Ratchet Vintage. Because there's times where I dress kind of ratchet and I have a very urban style to me, but at the same time, I love getting dressed up in super glam, all 60s and 50s, and I don't know, I like that mix and that balance, and I feel like that is 100% who I've always been. Like, from working in bars and doing bottle service, I learned to toughen up. I have no problem standing my ground and speaking up for myself if I have an issue, which I think translated over into music. I'm not afraid to say exactly how I feel about something, and I'm not afraid to say, I don't like that, and I mean, there's a polite way to do it, but I don't have an issue speaking my mind, where I think in the past I was so nervous, and so I would just keep quiet, and I would just let things happen when it wasn't what I wanted. All in all, I think 2018 was one of the hardest years of my life, but it was also one of the best years of my life, and I'm so grateful for everything I always go through. I'm a huge believer in everything happening for a reason and for a purpose, and I believe that everybody has a path and we're all intertwined. I'm so grateful to everybody who's come into my life this year, and every person who's come across my music and decided to join me on this journey and to be super supportive. I can't tell you exactly what my life's gonna look like a year from now, but I have confidence in myself and in God that it's only going up from here. And I know that sounds like kind of corny. I just have faith. I have so much faith, and I'm so happy and grateful, and I feel like I'm just really in a positive space right now. I think it's important to always know that you're gonna come out of whatever you're going through, and it's gonna be bigger and better. Sometimes shit has to burn down to rebuild. Now I sound like I'm giving a TED Talk. Okay, I'm not trying to be one of those inspirational people, so I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with vlogs, but I'm definitely not a YouTuber. I'm not gonna give myself a schedule or anything, but I will try to document more of my life. And I appreciate everyone who watches. So thank you. I'll see you in my next one.